Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes in life you give your heart to a man who doesn't know how to treat it right. You love deeply, you stay loyal, you put in the work, and in return, you end up hurt. That pain can be heavy, and it can break down your confidence if you let it. When someone hurts you, the first thing you must understand is that your worth is not tied to their treatment of you. Too many times, people fall into the trap of thinking that because someone mistreated them, ignored them, or failed to value them, somehow that means they aren't worthy of love, respect, or attention. That could not be further from the truth. Your value was already set long before anyone's opinion of you. The moment you were born, God placed something inside you that makes you unique, and no one can diminish that unless you allow them to. A man can try to tear you down with his words, he can neglect you with his actions, but none of that changes the fact that you are valuable, you are worthy, and you deserve to be treated with dignity. Here's the reality. When you base your self-worth on how someone else treats you, you hand them the keys to your confidence. You let their bad day, their attitude, or their disrespect dictate how you see yourself. And that is giving them a power they do not deserve. A man might hurt you, but that's a reflection of him, not you. It's his choices, his flaws, his inability to step up to the plate. Don't ever confuse someone else's failure to treat you right with your own value as a person. When you truly know who you are, you stop settling for mistreatment because you understand that no one on this earth has the authority to redefine your worth. The problem is when hurt comes in, it blinds you. It makes you question yourself, asking, am I not good enough? Am I not worth his love? Am I not worthy of being chosen? Those questions are dangerous because they plant seeds of doubt in your spirit. And if you water those seeds long enough, you start to live like the lie is true. But the truth is you are enough. You've always been enough. You don't need anyone to confirm that, and you don't need someone's mistreatment to make you forget it. You have to stand in front of the mirror and remind yourself daily that you are valuable. Even if he couldn't see it, even if he took you for granted, even if he walked away. His blindness does not change your beauty. His neglect does not erase your worth. His words do not silence your greatness. When you carry yourself with the mindset that you are worthy no matter what, everything shifts. People begin to notice how you walk, how you speak, how you carry yourself differently. When you demand respect by the way you respect yourself, men either rise to the level or they fall away. And either way you win, because you are no longer chasing someone's approval. You are standing firm in who you are. That's when a man who hurt you realizes that his actions did not break you. In fact, they only made you stronger. Let me tell you, a man can only hurt you repeatedly if you believe the lie that you are less than what you are. But when you reclaim your self-worth, the game changes. You stop allowing the hurt to define you. You stop letting his treatment decide how you feel about yourself. You become unshakable, and when you're unshakable, no one can manipulate your heart. That's where your power lives. In your ability to stand tall in your worth, regardless of who tries to tear it down. So the next time a man hurts you, pause before you break down. Pause before you question yourself. Pause before you let the pain control you. Remind yourself that you are valuable, that your worth has never left you, and that no matter what someone does, they cannot take away what God placed inside you. That truth alone will give you the strength to handle any hurt that comes your way. When someone hurts you, the first thing you must understand is that your worth is not tied to their treatment of you. Too many people think that because someone disrespected them, dismissed their feelings, or failed to value them, somehow that means they aren't worthy of love or respect. That's the trap. Your worth was set long before anyone had an opinion about you. The moment you were born, God placed something unique inside you, and no one can reduce that value unless you allow them to. A man can mistreat you, he can walk away, he can neglect you, but none of that changes who you are. It only reveals who he is. His choices, his failures, his immaturity are reflections of him, not of you. The moment you understand that truth, you take back your power. Because when you base your self-worth on how someone else treats you, you hand them the keys to your happiness. You let their words and actions decide how you see yourself. And that's dangerous. Don't ever give anyone that kind of control. Here's the truth. Hurt will always whisper lies to you. It'll tell you that maybe you weren't good enough. Maybe you weren't pretty enough. Maybe you weren't worthy of love. But those are lies designed to keep you stuck. If you water those lies long enough, you start to believe them. And once you believe them, you start living beneath your value. But when you wake up every day and remind yourself that your worth is not up for debate, that you are valuable no matter who does or doesn't see it, you rise above the hurt. You stop chasing validation and start living in your truth. That's when people start to notice that you carry yourself differently. And that's when a man who thought he could hurt you easily begins to see that his actions did not destroy you, they made you stronger. Now, the second thing you must understand is that silence is more powerful than words when someone hurts you. Too often, people think the best way to handle hurt is to argue, to yell, to explain, to plead, or to try and force someone to understand what they did. But let me tell you, silence carries more weight than any speech ever could. Arguing with someone who already knows they hurt you doesn't change them. It only drains you. A man knows when he has crossed the line. He knows when he has disrespected you. You don't need to waste your energy spelling it out over and over. When you respond with silence, when you pull back your energy, when you stop pouring into someone who doesn't value you, that absence hits harder than your words ever could. Think about it. People don't realize the value of your voice until they can't hear it anymore. They don't realize the power of your presence until it's gone. Silence creates space, and in that space, a man is forced to sit with himself, to feel the emptiness where your energy used to be. That's when he starts to understand the impact of his actions. He may not admit it out loud, but the silence will echo louder than anything you could have said. And the beauty of silence is that it protects your peace. You don't drain yourself repeating the same conversation. You don't lose your dignity by begging to be understood. You hold on to your strength by letting your absence speak for itself. Silence also allows you to observe. When you stop talking and just watch, you see a man's true intentions. Does he notice you've pulled back? Does he try to make things right? Or does he keep moving like nothing happened? His actions in the silence reveal everything you need to know. That's why silence is not weakness, it's wisdom. It's choosing not to fight battles that don't deserve your energy. It's choosing not to give explanations to someone who already knew better. And it's choosing to let your stillness speak louder than your words ever could. So when a man hurts you, remember these two truths. Your worth is untouchable and your silence is powerful. Those two things together protect you, strengthen you, and remind him that you are not a woman to be taken lightly. When someone hurts you, the very first thing you need to know is that your worth has nothing to do with the way they treated you. Too many people carry the pain of disrespect and start to believe that maybe they weren't good enough. Maybe they weren't lovable. Maybe they weren't worthy of being chosen. That's the biggest lie pain will ever tell you. The truth is, your worth is fixed. It was placed in you by God from the moment you were born, and nobody on this earth has the authority to take it away. A man can walk away, he can neglect you, he can say things that cut deep, but none of those actions define you. They define him, his choices, his immaturity, his inability to respect love. That's all about who he is, not who you are. When you hold on to that truth, you protect your heart from letting someone else's failure to love you properly turn into self-doubt. The reason this matters so much is because hurt has a way of whispering lies to you. You start asking questions like, am I not enough? Am I not worthy? And if you let those questions live too long, they take root. You end up lowering your standards and living beneath the level you were created for. But when you stand in front of the mirror and remind yourself that your value is non-negotiable, when you know that your presence alone is a gift, you begin to carry yourself differently. And when you carry yourself differently, people are forced to treat you differently. That's the power of knowing your worth. You stop waiting for someone else to validate you because you already validated yourself. The second thing you must learn when someone hurts you is that silence can be more powerful than words. A lot of people believe that the way to handle pain is by talking it out, arguing, explaining, repeating themselves over and over, trying to make the other person see what they did. But the truth is, a man already knows when he's crossed a line. He knows when he's disrespected you. He knows when his behavior has hurt you. You don't need to spend your energy teaching a grown person what they already know. That's why silence is such a powerful move. When you stop talking, when you pull your energy back, when you remove your presence, that absence speaks volumes. People often realize the value of your voice only when they no longer hear it. They notice your presence only when it's missing. Silence creates space, and in that space, a man is forced to sit with himself. He has to feel what life is like without your attention, without your conversation, without your energy. And let me tell you, that silence will echo louder in his mind than any argument you could have had. The beauty of it is that silence protects your peace. You don't drain yourself trying to force someone to understand what they already knew. You don't lose your dignity trying to prove your value. You hold on to your strength by letting your absence do the talking. The third thing is this: don't ever beg for what someone already knows they should be giving you. Respect, love, loyalty, care. These aren't extras. They're the basics. If you have to beg a man to treat you right, then you've already handed away your power. Because begging doesn't change him, it only lowers you. A man is fully aware of what respect looks like. He's fully aware of what love requires. When he chooses not to give it, that's not because he doesn't know how, it's because he doesn't want to. And no amount of pleading will fix that. When you stop begging, you shift the entire dynamic. You stop wasting your breath trying to convince someone to value you. You start showing them with your actions that if they can't provide the basics, they don't get access to you. That's when the respect begins, because people value what they have to earn. If you hand over love and loyalty without demanding the same in return, they'll keep taking and never give. But when you stand your ground, when you make it clear that begging is not in your vocabulary, you teach them that if they want to be in your life, they must come correct. So when someone hurts you, never forget these truths. Your worth is untouchable. Your silence is powerful. And begging for respect is beneath you. When you live by those three, you step into a power that cannot be taken away. When someone hurts you, the first truth you have to understand is that your worth is not determined by the way they treated you. Too often, people take someone else's mistreatment as a reflection of their own value. They start to think maybe they weren't good enough, maybe they weren't worthy of love, maybe they weren't deserving of respect. That is the biggest lie hurt will ever tell you. Your worth was fixed from the very beginning. It was set by God, and nothing anyone says or does has the power to change it. A man can neglect you, he can disrespect you, he can walk away, but none of those actions rewrite your value. They expose who he is, not who you are. Once you truly believe that, you stop letting other people's behavior shape how you see yourself. You take back your power and start walking in the confidence of knowing you are valuable, no matter who recognizes it or who fails to. Now here's the thing, hurt will always try to convince you otherwise. It will whisper in your ear that you're not enough, and if you listen long enough, those lies take root. You start living beneath your standard, and before you know it, you're accepting less than you deserve. But when you wake up every morning and remind yourself that your worth isn't negotiable, when you stand in front of the mirror and affirm that you are more than enough, you shift the entire atmosphere around you. People see it, they feel it, and they treat you according to the way you treat yourself. That's the power of knowing who you are. The second truth is that silence can be more powerful than words when someone hurts you. A lot of people believe that the way to handle pain is by arguing, shouting, or repeating themselves over and over, hoping the other person will finally understand. But the reality is, a man already knows when he has crossed the line. He knows when he's disrespected you. He knows when his actions cut deep. You don't need to waste your energy teaching a grown person what they already know. That's why silence is such a powerful move. When you stop pouring energy into explanations, when you pull back and remove your presence, your absence speaks louder than anything you could have said. Think about it. People often don't appreciate the sound of your voice until they can't hear it anymore. They don't value your presence until it's gone. Silence creates space, and in that space, a man has to sit with himself. He has to feel the void of your energy, and that will echo in his mind far louder than any words you could have spoken. At the same time, silence protects your peace. You don't drain yourself trying to prove your value. You don't lower yourself into endless debates. You hold your strength by letting stillness say what words cannot. The third truth is this: never beg for what someone already knows they should be giving you. Respect, love, honesty, loyalty, those are not luxuries. They're the basics. If you ever find yourself pleading for the bare minimum, you've already stepped into dangerous territory. Because the moment you start begging, you lower your own standard. A man knows what respect looks like. He knows what love requires. And if he chooses not to give it, that's not ignorance, that's a decision. You cannot convince someone to change their decision by begging. All it does is make them believe you'll accept less than you deserve. When you stop begging, you take the power back. You stop wasting your energy trying to explain the basics. You start showing through your actions that if someone cannot treat you right, they don't get access to you. That shift forces a man to recognize that if he wants to be part of your life, he has to come correct. And if he doesn't, you're willing to move on without him. That's strength, and that's how respect begins. The fourth truth is that you must focus on your healing instead of his excuses. A man who hurts you will often come back with stories, with reasons, with apologies that sound nice. but never lead to change. And if you're not careful, you'll spend years clinging to words while ignoring the reality of his actions. Healing means shifting that focus back onto yourself. Healing means asking, what do I need to grow? What do I need to protect my peace? What do I need to feel whole again? His excuses can't give you that. His apologies can't give you that. Only you can. When you stop waiting for someone else to fix what they broke and start choosing to build yourself back stronger, that's when the real transformation begins. So remember, your worth is unshakable. Your silence carries power. Begging is beneath you, and your healing is your responsibility. Those 4 truths will change how you respond when someone hurts you. Because when someone hurts you, the first truth you need to hold on to is that your worth is not measured by their actions. A lot of people fall into the trap of believing that mistreatment somehow makes them less valuable. They start to think maybe they weren't good enough. Maybe they weren't deserving of love. Maybe they did something wrong to be treated this way. But that's not the truth. Your worth was never in someone else's hand. It was set the day you were born, and nothing anyone says or does can change it. A man's failure to honor you does not mean you are unworthy. It only exposes his inability to love right. His actions define him, not you. And when you truly know this, you stop letting other people's treatment control how you see yourself. The second truth is that silence speaks louder than any words when you've been hurt. Many people think that arguing, explaining, or repeating themselves will fix things, but the reality is that a man already knows when he's crossed the line. He knows when his actions have caused pain. You don't need to exhaust yourself trying to make him see it. Silence is the move that shifts the energy. When you pull back your words, when you stop pouring your energy into someone who doesn't value it, your absence begins to speak volumes. People only recognize the value of your voice when they can no longer hear it, and they only feel the weight of your presence when it's gone. Silence protects your peace, while also forcing him to face the emptiness created by his own choices. The third truth is that you should never beg for what someone already knows they should be giving you. Respect, honesty, care, and loyalty are the basics. They are not favors you should have to earn. They are the foundation of any real relationship. If you ever find yourself pleading for those basics, you're already compromising your dignity. A man knows what respect looks like. He knows what loyalty requires. If he refuses to give it, it's not because he doesn't understand, it's because he doesn't want to. And no amount of begging will change a man's decision. Begging doesn't earn you love. It only teaches him that you'll accept less than you deserve. The power is in showing through your actions that you will never plead for the basics. If he can't give them, he can't keep you. The fourth truth is that you must stop focusing on his excuses and start focusing on your healing. A man who hurts you will often come with reasons, explanations, or apologies that sound sweet but never lead to change. You can waste months, even years, waiting for consistency that never comes. Healing requires you to shift the focus back onto yourself. Healing means asking what you need to rebuild your peace, what you need to restore your joy, 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 what you need to restore your joy. It means no longer putting your life on pause for someone else's promises. His excuses cannot heal your heart. Only your actions can. The moment you choose your healing over his explanations is the moment you begin to take back your life. The fifth truth is that boundaries are not optional, they are necessary. A boundary is not a suggestion, it's a line that says, this is how I will be treated, and anything less is unacceptable. But here's the key. A boundary without consequences is just a wish. If a man crosses it and you let it slide, then it wasn't a boundary at all. People will test your limits, especially if they've been used to getting away with disrespect. That's why you have to stand firm. You can't bend every time someone pushes. Boundaries are how you teach people to value you. And when enforced, they shift the entire dynamic. The moment a man realizes that crossing the line means losing access to you, that's when respect begins. So when someone hurts you, hold on to these truths. Your worth is fixed. Your silence is power. Begging is beneath you. Your healing is your responsibility, and your boundaries must be enforced. Those 5 truths change everything about how you respond to pain. When someone hurts you, the first thing you must understand is that your worth is not defined by their actions. Too often people begin to believe that mistreatment somehow means they are not good enough, not lovable enough, not worthy of respect. That is the lie pain tries to sell you. Your value was set long before anyone's opinion of you. A man's failure to treat you right doesn't reduce who you are. It simply reveals who he is. His choices, his immaturity, his lack of respect are all a reflection of him, not you. The moment you recognize this, you stop letting his actions control your self-pigeon, and you start walking in the truth that your worth is unshakable. The second thing you must realize is that silence can often speak louder than words. When you've been hurt, the natural reaction is to argue, explain, or plead for understanding. But the truth is, a man knows when he has crossed the line. He knows when his words or actions cut you. You don't have to waste your energy proving what he already knows. Silence is powerful because it creates space. It forces him to feel the absence of your attention, your voice, your energy. And in that absence, he begins to realize what he lost. At the same time, silence protects you. It stops you from draining yourself in endless explanations and allows you to keep your peace while your absence sends the loudest message of all. The third truth is simple but important. Never beg for what someone already knows they should be giving you. Respect, honesty, loyalty, and care are not favors. They are the foundation of any real relationship. If you find yourself pleading for those basics, you are giving away your dignity. A man knows what respect looks like. He knows when he is failing to provide it. If he refuses, that is not because he doesn't understand. It's because he doesn't want to. Begging won't change his mind. It only convinces him that you are willing to settle for less. The most powerful thing you can do is stop pleading and start showing that if he cannot give you the basics, he cannot keep your presence. The fourth truth is to stop focusing on his excuses and start focusing on your healing. A man who hurts you will always have explanations, reasons, or apologies ready, but words don't heal wounds. Too many people waste years waiting for change that never comes because they get caught up in promises instead of actions. Healing begins when you shift the attention back to yourself. It means asking what you need to feel whole again, what you need to protect your peace, what you need to move forward. His excuses cannot rebuild your spirit. Only your choices, your focus, and your growth can. The moment you choose healing over waiting for change is the moment you take your power back. The fifth truth is that boundaries must be set and enforced. A boundary without a consequence is just a wish. If you say what you won't accept, but let it slide every time, then it's not really a boundary. People test limits, especially if they've gotten away with crossing them before. That's why you have to stand firm. Boundaries teach people how to treat you. The moment you enforce them, you send a clear message that disrespect has a cost, and that cost is losing access to you. That's when respect begins, because people value what they know they can lose. And the final truth is knowing when to walk away. Leaving is not weakness, it is strength. Walking away doesn't mean you lost. It means you refused to settle. It means you decided that your peace, your dignity, and your self-worth matter more than holding on to someone who mishandles them. When a man sees that you are strong enough to walk away, that you are not afraid of life without him, that's when he realizes what he has lost. But by then, you've already taken back your power and your freedom. So when someone hurts you, remember these 6 truths. Your worth is unshakable. Your silence is powerful. Begging is beneath you. Your healing is yours to claim. Your boundaries must be enforced. And sometimes the greatest strength is simply walking away.